Hello everyone, welcome back to Devi Daily Yoga for this full body Yin Yoga practice to increase flexibility. This is a relaxing sequence that will help release tension throughout the body. You will not need any props for this practice, so just go ahead and roll out your mat. Our full body Yin Yoga class begins right now. We'll begin in easy pose, so please come into a cross-legged seat and feel free to use a cushion under your seat if that makes this more comfortable in your body. Let your hands rest on your legs and sit up tall. Allow your eyes to close and gently draw your shoulders up near your ears, squeeze them up for a moment, and then let them settle back and down, relaxing the sides of your neck and softening throughout your body. As you take your next inhale, feel yourself expand through your belly and your chest. And exhale, relax your belly and your chest. Take another full breath in, expanding your whole body from the inside. And let it go. And feel yourself arriving here on your mat and here in your body. One more full deep breath. And exhale. And gently let your eyes open up, and let's begin in butterfly pose as our first yin posture. So take the soles of your feet together, and you can again sit up on a cushion, which might make it easier. And you can play around with the position here. Your feet could be closer to your body, or they could be farther away from you. As you come forward, you'll feel it out and start to notice the stretch in the inner thighs. And you can see if you want to bring your feet into a different position to help that happen. Your hands might clasp around your feet, or they might rest on the floor. In this position, we can let the spine round, or we can keep it more straight, and it will create a different sensation depending on what you choose. So you can see what feels good, what works well for your hips today, since that's our primary target area. And we're going to hold this pose, eventually settling into a place of stillness, and just let the body rest here. As you rest, let your breath continue in a steady and easy rhythm. And each time that you breathe is an opportunity to enter into a deeper awareness of what's happening right now in your body. Every exhalation is an opportunity to soften a little more into the pose. Slowly now rise up, walking the hands in and sitting up tall, and gently draw your legs in together and take your legs out in front of you to come into a staff pose where your legs are about hips width apart, and take your hands, palms, or fingertips to the floor and sit up tall with your spine. Inhale your breath here. And as you exhale, gently come forward into caterpillar pose. This pose targets the backs of the legs and the lower back. You might rest your hands on your shins or your ankles or your feet. And as you settle in, begin to notice how This is kind of a full body stretch for the whole back of the body, this whole line of fascia that runs along the back from the base of your skull down along either side of your spine, over the back of your hips and the backs of your legs down to your feet. And take a gentle breath into your whole back body now. As you exhale, soften and relax through your head, through your spine. Continuing to rest in this place of peaceful stillness, letting each breath be like a little reminder to be in this moment and to rest in this peacefulness. Slowly release caterpillar and gently walk your hands up your legs. And now come onto your back and find a rebound on the back. This is just our time when we take any comfortable position on the back, spread the body out on the floor, and feel the effects of the pose that you just did. Maybe feeling the effects of both poses, butterfly and caterpillar. Maybe some energy moving through your spine, your hips, whatever it is you notice happening in the body now, relaxing and breathing with it. And now gently bend your knees, draw them in towards your chest, and wrap your arms around your legs. Inhale your breath, and as you exhale, lift your head up toward your knees, lengthening the back of your neck. And then release your feet down and roll over to the side to return to a seated position. And from this seated position, we're going to take it into a half saddle pose. Take your right foot to the side of your hip. And your knee might be close to the other knee, or it might be way out to the side. And that's something you can decide for yourself as we find a stretch of the inner, not the inner, but the front of the right thigh. So this is the quads and the hip flexors on the right leg. So this left leg can stay straight and you can lean back, or you might prefer to bend it and let the knee come out to the side, which might make it a little bit less intense if that's what you want. And now as you come back, this is where you could stay. This is option number 1. Option number 2 is to come down onto your elbows. And option number 3 is to come onto your back. Again, just checking in with the stretch in the front of the right hip and thigh. And if you're on your back, you might rest your hands on the floor at your sides or even above your head. So wherever you are, wherever you've landed, settle into a place of relative stillness and begin to notice what's happening in the body as you breathe and rest here. And slowly release, slowly push up back to an upright seated position. Now we're gonna take this knee up and take the legs into a square pose with the right ankle on top of the left knee. And if this is too much for your body, you can choose to have both feet on the floor instead. So where we're going from here is to come into a forward bend. So whether you've got your foot on the floor or on the knee, when you come forward, you want to feel it here in your right glutes if it's your right leg that's on top. Another option is to narrow your knees and bring it more toward a shoelace if your body prefers that. So if your knees are on top of each other and you come forward, you can get a very similar stretch, and it really just depends on your body, how you're built, and your bone structure to figure out which pose your body likes better. And once you find the variation that feels right for today, just soften into it. Relax and breathe into what you feel. Slowly now come back up to an upright seat and into a cross-legged position. And circle your arms around and up, inhaling, and as you exhale, take it into a twist to one side, looking back over your shoulder, and untwist, inhale, face forward, exhale to the other side. Great, release, inhale, arms up, And exhale, arms down to your sides. And we have another side to do for our half saddle pose. So the left foot will come next to your hip. And again, you can choose if you want to keep this right leg straight or bend the knee. You could keep the knee up or open it out to the side. And these are all just the ways we manipulate the position of our pelvis to lend itself to this stretch in the front of the hip and thigh. So once you've got that figured out, you can start to come back onto your elbows or stay up on your straight arms or come onto your back. And there's always the option to rest back on a bolster, cushions, blocks, whatever you have available to make it so the floor isn't quite so far away. Settling in to make any final adjustments before you can rest into stillness and breathe into the stretch. Slowly now release by pressing into your arms and carefully coming up, and find your way into the square with your left ankle over your right knee or your left foot on the floor, whatever your body likes better. As you come forward, and option to sit on a cushion or a folded blanket, whatever you want, if you want some elevation of your hips. And here we're looking for a stretch in the left outer hip, left glutes, which is a really nice part of the body to release, just because we are walking beings, and when we walk we use our glutes a lot. If we run or do bicycling, we're also using our glutes and all these parts of the body really that we're stretching, which is what makes Yin Yoga a wonderful recovery exercise for any athletic activity that you do. Breathe into what you feel and let yourself soften and relax with your exhales. Remembering that there is nothing you need to do here. In this yin practice, we set the body up so that gravity does the work. And this is not only wonderful for the body, but it's also great for the mind to have this time to be relaxed, to be peaceful. Slowly now walk your hands in, come up, and slowly make your way into child's pose. Climb onto hands and knees. Knees hips width apart or wider as you settle your hips back. Rest down, forehead on the floor, palms on the floor. And take this time to have another rebound, another time of resting and feeling the effects of the practice so far. Maybe some sensations in your hips or your spine. Slowly now come up and come all the way onto your belly. And on the belly, we're going to do a shoulder stretch called open wing. Take your right arm out to the right side and then rotate your body so that you stretch into the front of your right shoulder. So you have a lot of options here about how exactly to do this. You could take this hand and turn the palm up, or you could turn the palm down. And you could have the hand be down more. You could angle it differently depending on what feels good in this right shoulder. And the more you peel this left shoulder open, the more you'll feel the stretch. Sometimes it's nice to have some kind of a cushion or a block under the head. You can play around with that. Your left hand might come behind your back, or it might stay on the floor to support you. And finally, you have options with the legs. You could just kind of scissor the legs so that your left leg comes back in space, or you could place your left foot on the floor, turning the knee up to the sky, or turn both knees up to the sky. Feeling it out until you find a place where you can rest for a minute or so, and then start to settle into some restfulness. Breathing into the stretch. Slowly now release by rolling over onto your belly again and find the stretch on the other side. So take your left arm out, finding a comfortable angle, rest your left side of your head on the floor and rotate your body so you can get this right shoulder back. And check in with your legs and what position they might want to take. And if this is pretty intense for you, then just keep this right hand on the floor and then you don't have to rotate open quite so much. You can stay a little more chest pointing toward the floor. Make any final adjustments to settle into the position that feels right for this side, knowing that we often have different stuff going on from right to left, especially on our dominant sides. We tend to get more wear and tear on our dominant sides. So breathing into the stretch inviting yourself to relax into it a little more with each exhale. All right, slowly release now. Come back onto your belly, rest in crocodile. Stack your hands, forehead rest on your hands. And just take a few moments to breathe and be still here, feeling the difference between the two shoulders. Feel the openness that's been created in the shoulders. And then from here, stay on the belly, just bend your knees so your feet come up and let the feet come side to side, swaying, giving your back a massage. And slowly bring your feet back to center, release them back to the floor. Let's come into a back bend of your choice. It'll be either a Sphinx pose, resting on the elbows and forearms like so, or saddle pose, which is a more advanced pose if that is part of your practice. And wherever you are, you're finding a back bend in your lower back, maybe feeling some sensations in the sacrum, which is the large bone at the back of your pelvis. The root of the word sacrum is the same as the root of the word sacred, and this is the seat of much of our energy when we talk about chakra theory or the movement of energy through the meridians. So as you hold this pose and connect with your breath, see if you can breathe into the sacrum at the very base of your spine. And see if your breath can help you soften any tension in the soft tissues around the sacrum, freeing up this energy to flow. And slowly release the pose, coming down if you're in Sphinx, gently coming up if you are in saddle. And we're gonna come on to the back now. So make your way into a position on your back. And we'll find windshield wipers on the back. with the feet as wide apart as the mat, spread your arms out to either side and then draw the knees to the right and to the left. Turn the head opposite the knees each way. One more time on each side. Good, and now we bring the legs back to center and we're going to come into spinal twist as our last pose. So draw the knees in toward you and then let them fall over to the right, adjusting as needed so that you can get your left hip on top of your right hip, and then take the right hand down to add a little bit of weight and anchoring to these legs. And settle into your twist, breathing and softening. One more full breath in and an exhale. Gently guide your legs back up to the center and shift your hips to the opposite side. Draw the knees in and over to your left and take your left hand down onto the legs. Turn your head to the right and reach your right arm out to the side. Making any final adjustments to the position of your hips and shoulders till you can find a position that's comfortable and restful. And allow yourself to simply be here in this position, feeling these stretches happening in your body and in your spine especially. And one last breath in, full exhalation, and slowly bring the knees back up to center. Straighten your body out and find your final relaxation pose. Star pose is one option with the arms and legs spread out wide, or a more standard corpse pose, shavasana, with the arms alongside your body. Whatever feels good today as you come into a neutral spine, a fully supported position where you can completely relax into gravity and feel the effects of this practice. Take a deeper breath now into your belly and into your heart. And as you exhale, interlace your fingers and turn your palms up and away from your legs, from your feet, and stretch your whole body long. Inhale to this full body stretch. And exhale, release your arms, bend your knees, gently roll onto one side, and slowly press up into a comfortable seat. Cross your legs, come back into easy pose where we began. Take a moment to sit with your eyes closed, feeling the rebound of this entire practice, the energy that moves through the body after we awaken these channels. And now place your palms together in prayer. Gently open your eyes and inhale, circle your arms around, bring your palms together and draw them down in front of your heart. And that closes our full body yin practice today. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank yourself for taking this time for some self-care today. I hope you enjoyed the practice. I look forward to reading your comments below, and I look forward to the next time we practice together. Namaste.